Just as with many products out there, organic unfiltered, and unpasteurized, raw, ACV is best as it still contains the mother with all the good stuff. Depending on where you live, raw ACV may be hard to come by. Luckily ACV is super easy and cheap to make at home. The only downside, it takes some time to naturally ferment the apples. There are two methods for you to choose from. One uses scraps like the cores and peels, and the other method uses whole apples. I prefer the scrap method as I get to eat the apples too or use them to make applesauce or apple pie. Since apples are at the top of the list of the fruits and veggies with the most pesticides for 2015, it's best to choose organic apples. ACV from whole apples, what you need. 6 sweet apples. Starter culture, 2 tablespoons raw ACV with mother or SCOBY. 2 tablespoons raw honey or sugar. Water. 2 quart wide mouth glass jar. Cheesecloth. Rubber band. How to make ACV. 1. Wash your apples thoroughly, even when organic, to remove dirt and pesticides. Cut the apples into 8 to 12 pieces each. Place them into the jar or on the counter. Let them air until they turn brown. 2. Add honey and raw ACV. The mother or SCOBY will add the useful, friendly bacteria to speed up the fermentation process. When making your second batch, you can use your own mother or SCOBY instead of store-bought raw ACV. 3. Cover the apples with water. 4. Cover the jar with a cheesecloth and rubber band to hold the cover in place. Air needs to come in contact with the liquid for the fermentation process. The air helps to ferment the apples, sugar, and water into a mild alcohol or cider. The harmless bacteria then turn the cider into vinegar in the presence of oxygen. 5. Place the mixture in a warm and dark place for 2 weeks. The top of your fridge is a good example of a warm and dark place. Room temperature also works, but will take longer. Bubbles and scum may form on top of the water as the bacteria are turning sugars and alcohols into vinegar. Every day, stir the mixture. Mold can form on top, but that's okay. Nothing to worry about. Just spoon it off. 6. After 2 weeks, strain the liquid in a clean glass jar and discard the apples. 7. Cover again with cheesecloth and place back at the same warm dark spot. Stir every few days for 2 weeks to 1 month. 8. Check the liquid regularly by tasting it. You'll definitely know when it's ready. A SCOBY may form on top of it. You can make a new batch of vinegar with it. When the vinegar is ready, stop the fermentation process by covering the jar and placing it in the fridge. Note: do not use metal containers to store your ACV. The acids corrode metal, so it is best to use glass containers.